A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Untuk hari ini kita akan sambung kepada topik yang seterusnya, which is on the type of service offered by property consultant and estate agency practice. Saya mohon maaf, hari ini memang tiada video, ada sedikit isu teknikal di bahagian saya. Namun demikian, kelas akan tetap diteruskan. Sebelum kita memulakan kuliah pada hari ini, kita mulakan dengan kita hadiahkan selawat dan Al-Fatihah. Yang pertama, kita hadiahkan untuk baginda Rasulullah SAW, seluruh anak-anak, cucu-cucu baginda, isteri-isteri baginda, sahabat-sahabat dan seluruh Nabi yang pernah diturunkan oleh Allah di muka bumi ini untuk menyampaikan ajaran yang baik daripada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Kita sedekahkan dan hadiahkan selawat dan Al-Fatihah untuk semua para malaikat, seluruh makhluk ciptaan Allah yang berada di langit dan di bumi, termasuklah di dalamnya ada guru-guru kita dan semua guru-guru yang pernah mendidik kita daripada kita kecil hingga besar, termasuklah para ustaz-ustaz, para syekh dan wali yang terdapat di dalamnya. Kita doakan untuk diri kita sendiri, untuk jiwa kita, minda kita, untuk kedua ibu bapa kita, datuk dan nenek kita dan seluruh keluarga besar, datuk dan nenek kita, pasangan hidup kita dan seluruh keluarga besar pasangan hidup kita, anak-anak kita dan jodoh-jodoh anak-anak kita dan keluarga besar jodoh-jodoh dan anak kita dan seluruh manusia di muka bumi ini, sama ada yang sihat ataupun yang sedang sakit. Di mana kita semua ini, kita mohon semuanya sihat walafiat, dipanjangkan umur, dalam berkat, dalam kebaikan, dilimpahkan rezeki yang melimpah ruah, yang berkat, yang halal dan barakah, ya. Dan apa jua yang kita ikhtiarkan dalam bulan Ramadan ini, ataupun apa yang kita ikhtiarkan yang baik dalam hidup ini, mudah-mudahan segala doa kita dimakbulkan oleh Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, sentiasa dilindungi dan dinaungi dengan cahaya makrifat dan cahaya mahabbah daripada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali sayyidina Muhammad. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Amin 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 ya rabbal alamin. Kalau kita doa, kita doakan untuk semua orang. Mudah-mudahan bila kita doakan untuk semua orang, malaikat aminkan doa kita, kita pun dapat kita dapat pahala dan kita juga dapat rahmat, berkat daripada mendoakan orang lain. Okey, untuk hari ini kita akan sambung kepada topik yang seterusnya. Saya akan share slide. Okay, I hope you can see the slide. Okay, so this is on the topic of types of services offered by property consultant and estate agency practice. Okay, kita akan cuba habiskan topik ni. Kalau kita tengok pada topik in setting up a practice as per syllabus, antara topik-topik yang perlu kita tahu adalah the first one, which is on the Memorandum of Association and Article of Association. This one saya dah terangkan bahawa di dalam Company Act 2016, Memorandum of Association and Article of Association dah tak ada, digantikan dengan Superform, yang mana kumpulan A ada present tentang Superform pada presentation minggu lepas, alhamdulillah. Okey, dan untuk kumpulan minggu lepas, kumpulan 1 telah juga memberikan requirement for the company secretary, accountant and auditor. That one is covered already. Today I will give you some insight on the property consultancy and estate agency practice in Malaysia, as well as the registration with the Board of Valuers, Appraisers, Estate Agent and Property Managers Malaysia. Okay, are you ready? Right. So these are some of the topic under the setting up a practice. Okay, I will give you an overview of property consultancy and estate agency practice in Malaysia. What are the steps in the registration with the Board of Valuers, Appraisers, Estate Agent and Property Managers Malaysia? As for the SSM registration, this one already covered last week for the presentation group 1, and also I have covered in the previous week. And we have the professional professional fee under 7 schedule. This one also will going to be covered in our presentation by group. Can't remember which group, tapi kita akan cover dalam presentation. Alright. So we go to the first one, which is on the property consultancy and estate agency practice in Malaysia. Okay. Alright. So this is, I give you a glance on the professional practice in Malaysia for courses which is accredited by the professional body. So maksudnya a professional course ni, professional courses, we are bonded with the professional body, ataupun we are governed by various professional body. Okay, for example, if you are an architect, an architect, so you ada you sebenarnya governed by or bonded with the Board of Architect Malaysia. Landscape pun sama, dia ada Landscape Architect Malaysia. As for the real estate program, kita adalah di bawah Board of Valuers, Appraisers, Estate Agent and Property Manager Malaysia. Okay, so these courses, yang professional courses, we are governed, kita ada professional body to control the profession. Okay, and this professional body, dia akan keluarkan circular rules and regulation relating to your profession. Okay, bukan suka-suka kita nak buat business. Bila you nak buat business, kalau general practice boleh, tetapi for professional practice, you have to have register with the Board of Valuers before you can set up your office. But before that, you need to get your license first. Okay, dan bawah professional practice dekat Malaysia, kita terikat juga dengan act and rules. Okay, dan sepanjang you berada di semester 1 sampai semester 6, berbagai jenis akta dan peraturan yang perlu pelajar faham. Ada lebih daripada 10 akta yang anda telah pun pelajari. Dan termasuklah di bawah professional practice, anda perlu memahami beberapa akta penting seperti akta penilai pentaksir dan ejen hartanah Malaysia, dan anda juga belajar tentang Company Act 2016 dan berbagai akta yang telah anda belajar daripada anda masuk semester 1 hinggalah ke semester 6. And in this course, you are well trained to well versed with the act, because bila you nak jalankan profesi you sebagai seorang consultant, you perlu mengetahui apakah undang-undang yang berkait di dalam tugasan ataupun your task or assignment. Sebab bangunan ini dia terikat dengan berbagai jenis akta. Okay. Dan seterusnya ialah bila kita buka syarikat profesional, kita juga adalah menjadi requirement. It's a legal requirement for the business set by the professional body, by the board, is to buy the professional indemnity insurance, right, for professional liability. Kalau untuk macam you nak buka bisnes biasa, bisnes kedai runcit dan sebagainya, tak perlu. Tetapi for the professional practice in Malaysia, this is one of the requirement which is essential for you. Okay, and another requirement is that you need to open client account. So this client account is a legal requirement for the business as well. So you need to have at least one client account. So this one is under section 49, subsection 1, rule Act 242. So you need to maintain the client account, and also you need to buy insurance to cover the client account, client's money. So this one is under the rules. You can check under rules section 57. Okay. Next. So why we need a property consultant? This one. Okay. So this is a glance on the property practice in Malaysia. Next is real estate practitioners and real estate firm. Satu, you practice. Of course, you need to have a firm. Maksudnya kalau you ada license, you tak ada syarikat, you tak boleh sign report. Okay, the liability is under the company. So who is the registered person? So yang ni pun you telah pun belajar masa semester 5. So a registered person who is registered with the Board of Valuers, estate agent and property manager, and practicing real estate profession through a firm that provide real estate services and consultation. So these people, they are abide with the acts, rules and guideline within the profession. Okay, perkataan dekat sini yang you kena fahami ialah through a firm. So walaupun you registered, tetapi you tidak mempunyai syarikat, you tidak boleh sign report. Okay, because the liability is under the company. So a registered person has to fulfill the continuous professional development requirement until the age of 60 years old. So meaning that if you pass your license, they don't simply pass you like that. Every year you need to sit for continuous professional development for 10 hours. Okay, cuma hari tu COVID because of COVID last year. So board beri pengurangan sebanyak 5 jam untuk tahun 2020. Okay, tetapi untuk tahun 2021 I was informed that we need to collect 10 hours CPD point. So the third one, a registered person or a firm has registered and renewed the authority to practice valuation, estate agency and property management with the board. So meaning that, okay, if I work with UiTM, I am a registered person. So I still need to renew my authority to practice in whatever area that I have passed. So every year I need to renew my license. And in order for me to renew the license, board already set a requirement that a person who want to renew a license, satu, dia mesti submit borang bankruptcy. Maksudnya dia tidak bankrupt. So sekarang ni, kalau dulu yes, kita just declare ourselves, but now board a little bit strict because you need to register at the dekat website. You kena declare, bayar RM10, okay, dan satu report akan dikeluarkan sama ada you seorang yang bankrupt ataupun tidak, okay. Dan you juga perlu submit you punya bukti 10 CPD hours. And CPD hours yang collected ini perlulah CPD yang telah diluluskan oleh pihak lembaga. Okay, you cannot simply like you go to any kursus or training, then you rasa ni dah cukup 10 jam. Tidak kalau you pergi kursus-kursus yang tidak diiktiraf oleh lembaga, you still need to submit to the board and appeal for how many hours they could approve for your training, bukan suka-suka je. Alright, so these are some of the roles of property consultant, So saya nyatakan ada 4 dekat sini, roles of property consultant. Dan pada minggu-minggu awal semester ni, saya juga telah menerangkan kepada pelajar my reflection or my description on who is a good Muslim professional. So I give already the insight that a good professional, dia mesti competence and dia mesti ada caringness. Kalau caringness ni dalam bahasa Islam ni kita panggil ihsan. So competence in a way that you are educated, you have the knowledge in that area, and you have skill. Of course, currently you don't have the skill, but you have actually obtained certain skill. For example, right now, from semester 1 to semester 6, you are actually improving your writing skill, your communication skill. Alright, other skill you can gain bila you dah bekerja nanti. And then the most very important is your attitude. Your attitude, because all this will reflect to who are you in the future. Okay. So bila you nak develop skill ni, of course, bila you bekerja, you definitely, as a human, kita akan buat mistake. Okay, and every mistake not a mistake, it's a lesson. Okay, saya cukup tak faham kenapa kalau seseorang itu dia buat salah, dia terlalu takut untuk mengaku salah tu satu. Dia tak terlalu takut nak mengaku dia salah. Sedangkan setiap kesalahan yang kita buat itu adalah lesson. Kita adalah manusia yang lemah, yang sentiasa membuat kesilapan. Jangan kata, oh you perfect. You being in a professional, okay, every report you mula buat daripada awal, daripada awal you buat, pasti ada kita belajar daripada kesilapan, dan kesilapan itu sebenarnya adalah satu pengajaran. Dan saya ingin pesan kepada pelajar, bila you bermula daripada bawah, daripada tak tahu kepada tahu, suatu hari nanti bila anda telah tahu, anda mempunyai skill, anda mempunyai pengalaman, janganlah jadi manusia yang sombong dengan pengalaman, kerana itu pun adalah satu ujian. Dan bila saya cakap tadi, dengan adanya knowledge, skill and attitude yang baik, ini adalah reflection for you in the future. The problem is that pelajar zaman sekarang, saya tengok generasi sekarang, dia terlalu risau what will happen in the future. Okay, don't be like that. Okay, whatever you need to think now is a present moment. Who are you at the moment? So you don't need to hassle your brain or your mind into what will happen in the future, because what will happen in the future will happen. Okay, you jadi valuer ke, you tak jadi valuer ke, you jadi suri rumah ke, whatever you want to be in the future, it will happen in the future. But what I'm trying to say is that you are a reflection of your future. Dengan apa yang you ada sekarang is your reflection of the future, dengan cara you kerja you dan sebagainya. So it will dictate, okay, dia akan differentiate, who are you in the future. Okay, don't stress up to what are you going to be in the future. You have to assess who are you now. Okay, adakah saya ini macam mana? You nilai you sekarang. You jangan terlalu melihat too futuristic. Alright, you want to know what will happen in the next 5 years or next 10 years or whatever, because that one is actually, you leave it to God. You leave it to God. What is important is the present moment. You have to give best to yourself now. Alright? Faham jangan jadi macam kita terlalu sangat nak melihat kepada future sampai you are actually burdening your mind, which is not good. Okay? Which is not good. So think about present moment. Think about who are you now. Alright, I know that in this class, I'm giving you the insight or the imagination of who is the property consultant. You can imagine yourself in the future by listening to what I have explained to you, but you don't put yourself in the future yet. Okay, you are now at the present moment. Okay, that is important. So this is just a reflection of on the roles of property consultant. Okay, siapa mereka ni. So yang mana insyaAllah in the future you become one of them. Okay, you give advice, you advocate, you analyze, you do the report, you provide strategy, whatever it is in the field of real estate. Alright, even myself, I'm teaching, I'm a registered valuer, but at the same time, I also give consultation more into a research consultation. Consultation. Alright, anything in the field of real estate. Alright, you will never know where you will ended up. Okay, I myself also don't know. So what is important is now you think about present moment at the moment. Alright, do best for you at the present moment. So the present moment, you sebagai pelajar, you have to mold your integrity since you are still young. Okay, so integrity ni very difficult because I can see that almost 100% of my students, they pray 5 times. But make sure that if you pray 5 times, you punya nilai yang you bawa, ya, dengan amal adalah selari. Ya, jangan amal you buat, tapi dari segi nilai kehidupan you tak buat. Very simple that to the certain extent kita nak ingatkan pelajar tentang integriti sebagai seorang pelajar. Salah satunya ialah isu plagiarism. Okay, adakah borang yang anda sign itu anda benar-benar hayati dan baca? Okay, so that's why I said, so I'm explaining to you on the role of the property consultant, which could be you in the future, but what is important is that at the present moment, who are you? Are you a person with that characteristic that I explained, yeah? You ada integrity, yeah? You ada discipline, alright? You seorang jujur, seorang yang amanah, yeah? Dan sepatutnya dalam tempoh daripada awal semester 1 sampai semester 6, you sendiri telah menilai diri you bahawa you telah mengalami perubahan demi perubahan daripada satu takuk yang kurang baik kepada yang lebih baik. Yeah? Mungkin masa masuk dulu you tak jaga solat, tetapi bila you dah masuk dekat university, you dah mula faham dan you mula jaga solat. Kerana you tahu you jaga solat itu bukan untuk you menunjuk-nunjuk pada kawan-kawan you ataupun you segan dengan kawan you, tetapi you solat itu untuk diri you dan untuk Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Ya? Sebab dalam hidup kita, tujuan hidup kita adalah untuk beribadah dengan Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Ya? Kalau you datang kelas saya, sepatutnya you perlu solat dulu. You terus masuk kelas saya tanpa you solat, you tangguhkan. So maknanya you telah membesarkan dunia you, bukannya you membesarkan Allah. Bahaya tu. Tolong jaga. Okay. So these are the second rule is that you supposed to have a technical competency. So maksudnya technical competency ni dia very broad. Technical in valuation, property management, estate agency, alright, like myself, research. So you will be destined to what are the area that you will ended up in the future. Okay, saya pun tak tahu. I cannot tell you. I myself pun saya pun tak pernah terfikir. So adakah ini adalah salah satu perjalanan saya yang Allah takdirkan, ataupun selepas ini mungkin ada shifting yang lain atau sebagainya. Itu kita serahkan pada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Yang penting kita telah melakukan apa yang terbaik kepada kita sekarang. Okay, yang seterusnya ialah property consultant is a link between defining the problem and advising a solution of measurable economic value. So maksudnya, as a consultant, we solve problem. Okay, we solve problem. So when I say a consultant, you solve problem, you have to make sure that you don't create problem. Okay, but I see that most of the problem is because of our attitude. Okay, and our attitude is our problem. Okay, so if you want to be a good consultant, you should be able to solve the problem. And this problem solving exercise, kalau you tengok, it already happened since you start enroll the program. Daripada you semester 1, you dapat satu task. That is how you solve the problem. Alright? And every semester we give you tasks for you to solve the problem, because it is a preparation for you to be prepared in the future to solve people's problem. Can't you see that? And not only you are defining problem, yeah, from semester 1 to semester 6, you are training yourself to become a leader. When I give you assignment, for example, okay, it is up to you to decide who is the team leader, how you want to lead your team, all right, how you want to manage your work. So these are the valuable experience that you can gain during this period of study. And from this experience, you can use this experience. So bila you dah kerja, you kata, oh, I've got an experience to manage my team. You started to apply, and because you already have that experience. Faham So jangan jadi member je, buat tak tahu kan. Bila kelas ada lecturer ke tak ada, you couldn't care less. So that's why I said, look at the present moment. Who are you? Because when you evaluate yourself at the present moment, who are you? It will determine your future will be. Okay, kalau you kata, okay, doktor, saya kan daripada semester 1 sampai semester 6, I couldn't care less. Kalau ada kumpulan nak terima saya masuk sajalah. Saya jadi member dan sebagainya. So you know who are you already. You are a worker. Alright, you are not a leader. But it doesn't mean, oh, Dr. Mona kata saya ni ended up as a worker. You already set your mind. That is wrong. So when you know, oh, that is my weakness, I have to shift myself. I have to change. So if you want to change, there are certain things that you need to do, which is your action will determine, will bring you to a paradigm of change. But if you don't change yourself, you keep on say, oh, tak apalah, I pun tak boleh nak buat apa. So that is you in the future, tak boleh nak buat apa. Faham maksud saya So maksudnya, by definition, the consultant, alright, dia ada banyak role lah. Okay, you don't rigid yourself, you scope yourself into valuation or into estate agency. Okay, consultant ni banyak kategori dalam real estate. Dan salah satu saya sendiri, saya jadi research consultant. Alright, I lead the consultation project. So if you are in the construction, maybe you are a consultant in construction. In valuation, you are a consultant in valuation. Okay, because real estate ni dia sangat luas. Itu maksud dia. Dan dalam kehidupan ini kita perlukan consultant. Dan consultant ni dia berbagai lah. Okay, kalau kita ada property consultant, because ia adalah satu keperluan dalam kehidupan. Okay, contoh kan, orang nak jual rumah, nak beli rumah, dia perlukan satu medium ataupun satu pemudah cara untuk dia menyelesaikan masalah. That's why this profession exists. And this course exists because, like, when you enroll the real estate program, you are programmed or you are trained to become the future consultant. Because one day you give advice. Okay, that's why I always say, if you have problem, you don't know how to tackle your own problem, you want to become a consultant, you have to advise people on their problem. So you see what I'm trying to say. Okay, so people come to you to get advice. All right, and this advice is a very technical advice, and that's why whatever you learn from semester 1 to semester 6 is actually a blended, different area which you need to gather or integrate all this information, all this fact, all right, and use your common sense. Okay, uh, so it must be a balanced mind. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is a balanced mind. Okay, it's very important. So then, to find and securing the property on behalf of the client. For example, like you do the valuation report, the market analysis, okay? And at the same time, you help your client in decision-making process. Okay, when you do the feasibility study masa semester 5, so that is part of the process of decision making, right? So if you are into the real estate, you help your client during the negotiation process, okay, or in sale and purchase, okay, you help your client, right? And of course, when you are as a property consultant, you have to communicate with various party, and you ni jadi pemudah cara kan to communicate. For example, kalau you are appointed as an estate agent, so the client ask your opinion to buy or to sell the property, and at the same time you are also communicating with the lawyer, with the banker, which are related to the property sector. So you see, the property consultant, you also obliged to satisfy your client requirement. Yeah, of course, um, you need to give a good advice, right? You protect their asset and provide top class level of services, you know. And when you become a consultant, you should avoid stress and make your client calm. Yeah, you yourself stress, and then you want to become a consultant. How? So you should tell me how. So these are some of the good quality yang I boleh list down. Okay, you need to have knowledge in technical, in the property market, and also the business environment. And at the same time, you also a mediator or a problem solver, a critical thinker. All right, you give professional advice. You need to have a good common sense, and you need to have a good leadership quality. So these are all the good quality blended. All right, when I describe you as a good property consultant. And I realized that at my age now, if you want to become successful and happy in life, okay, you need to have a balance. Okay, balance in life ni maksudnya, um, you are not only conscious on your intellectual. So whatever you learn from semester 1 to semester 6, you are focusing more into your intellectual. But I would like to advise you personally that, okay, in order for you to achieve the real meaning of success and happiness in life, so you have to be conscious not only your intellectual, okay, your physical consciousness. Okay, maknanya you jaga diri you, you jaga makan you, you jaga makan you, you jaga kesihatan, you exercise, alright? You really love your body. You take care of your body. Okay? You cannot be a good consultant if you're sick or if you are not healthy. Okay? And another consciousness that you should be able to maintain is your emotion. Right? You have to be emotionally stable, because if you are not stable in terms of your emotion, all right, your client have problem, all right, when he or she explain the problem, you also get emotion, or you are overreact. Okay? So apa lagi yang penting health, emotion, um, spiritual, spiritual is also important, supaya bila you jadi a good consultant, when you want to advise, your mind is calm. Okay, you know yourself, you have a good inner strength inside you. Okay, it's not only based on your physical consciousness, but also your spiritual must be also strong. Must be also stable. Okay, that's for me. You need to have a balance between your intellectual, your feelings, and your emotion. Saya tengok, um, kita jarang guna perasaan kita sebab kita terlalu menggunakan intellectual kita. Kita neglect our perasaan. Perasaan kita banyak kebas. Kebas ni numb, very numb. So dia tak ada perasaan. Itulah saya tengok kat kelas kan, bila ada apa-apa, you couldn't care less. Tu bermaksud perasaan you, your feelings is numb. Bahaya tau, bahaya. You are very intellectual, but you neglect your feelings and emotion. I did not surprise when I see the statistic that these days banyak orang stres, banyak orang tekanan jiwa dan sebagainya, because they neglect their feelings and emotion. Alright, they are more into the intellectual. Cara pemikiran pun too intellectual. Sometimes you use too intellectual on your left brain, you neglect your right brain, also no good. It must be a balanced use of brain. Okay. So these are some of the services offered. I think you pun dah tahu because you dah belajar. You have learned this one from semester 1 to semester 6, and when you come to my class on a professional practice, it's just like I would like to remind you and integrate on what are the subjects that you have learned from semester 1 to semester 6. I again to remind you on, what are the quality, what are the criteria of Muslim professional. You need to have integrity, right? You punya amal you selari dengan nilai-nilai murni, so whatever I put here, the services of it, alright, you dah belajar pun sebelum ni, on market and feasibility study, you have learned this in semester 5, statutory and non-statutory valuation from semester 2 to semester 6, alright, sale, tenancy and lease, this one you have covered in your estate agency class. The same with the property management subject. You have learned the financial analysis and investment opportunities in semester 3. Okay? And what you need to gain when you work is you need to have a skill on how to give people advice. All right? Based on the data, based off of the analysis that you obtain, all right, in your report, so that you can advise your client confidently. So these are some of the area of expertise, which is valuer, estate agent, property manager. If you wish to become, a registered person into one of this area, you are very lucky because these days kita dah ada area yang berbeza. Dulu tak ada property manager. Okay, sekarang dah ada. So you can only focus to do your property manager license. Or if you are into estate agency, then you can do your estate agency license. Okay, but if you wish to become a valuer, so you have to learn on estate agency and property manager, because valuer covers all areas. Okay. So if you are into looking forward to become a real estate professional, so first thing and foremost is that after your graduation, all right, you need to find a supervisor, all right, who can supervise you for you to sit for TPC. You need to, your supervisor need to check your logbook. That's why I said it's very important for you to do a reflection to the present moment. Who are you at the moment? You look at yourself, you and your thesis supervisor. Are you doing justice to your training or to your writing? So you can reflect whether are you ready to become a real estate professional, because these are the next step that you need to do after you graduate. Okay. And to find supervisor to supervise you for the logbook is not easy. For example, you are now, your batch, you have 150 students, and meaning that in the market, there will be an opportunity of, 150 person. You need to find a good supervisor who is willing to supervise you. That is your first step. And of course, during this period of time, during your study, you should be able to understand what are the code of ethics in the real estate profession. That's why you are into my class. Okay, I did explain to you on the board requirement, on the business registration, and what are the requirements for the SSM. Okay, and then what is the process involved in setting up a business. So all these are the steps before you can set up your own business in real estate. Okay, it's totally different than the general practice. Okay, because you are into this professional practice. So these are some of the um, point that I think important for a person to setting up a practice. Maksudnya dia nak buat satu business dalam real estate. Of course, you have to look at the business requirement, which I have explained to you. What are requirements from the board? What are the requirements of the SSM? How many capital you have? Okay, your skill and business networking is very important. So bermaksud, bila you kerja nanti, so you have a bigger opportunity to expand your networking. And bila you bekerja nanti, that is the time where you polish your skill. Because currently you have that knowledge. Okay, but you are lacking of skill. So bila you bekerja, that is a good time for you to polish your skill. You develop your skill. Alright, and through time, insyaAllah, alright, you akan jadi gambaran yang saya berikan tadi sebagai Muslim professional in the future. Okay. Dan dalam kita nak dapatkan skill dalam kehidupan ni, dalam apa jua skill, you nak masak, you nak buat thesis, you nak kena belajar research, dan whatever skill yang you nak develop in you, it require time. Contoh Rizal Man, dia nak buat baju, jadi designer yang terkenal sekarang sampai jadi datuk. Of course, you tengok, he has to go through a time. So give yourself time. So from semester 1 to semester 6, you have 3 years. That is a time for you to improve yourself. But how many of you have really utilized this? Within 3 years, I have, developed my writing skill. I have developed my communication skill. I have developed my confidence level. And I have developed other skill than what I have learned in class. Alright, macam other skill, ada pelajar saya, sambil dia belajar estate management, dia belajar buat baju dekat PKNS. Okay, dan saya tengok dalam IG dia, sampai sekarang dia memang tailor, dia buka company tailoring. Okay, adakah bermaksud apa yang dia belajar dalam real estate itu tidak membantu? Dia membantu sebenarnya. That's why you have to look at the bigger perspective. Alright, ataupun sepanjang tempoh 3 tahun ni you tidak berbuat apa-apa. You cuma pergi dan balik kelas sahaja. Because you think that is what is supposed to be. Okay, that's why it's very important for you to think about, reflect yourself, present moment. So what I am now, okay, by reflecting to the numbers of years you have spent at UiTM, have you gained anything to change yourself, to shift yourself from your old you to become a new you? So after you graduate, it's become a new you. Oh, last time I was not confident. I cannot speak English. But now after graduate, I am very confident to speak in English. You know, I have gained my writing skill. I can write very well. I have improved my English. So is that so? Okay. So another skill when you want to set up a practice is that you need to write your business model and plan. Yang ni saya dah bagi dalam your assignment task 1. Yeah. So this is what you're going to do. Alright. You need to assess your finance, you know, your legal business structure. You know, you need to build your team. You know, you need to brand yourself. You know, the survival if you want to be in the business. And of course, you want to grow your business, right? So to set up a business is very important for you to recheck and revisit your own financial. I did mention about, I think the students are very excited when I mentioned about CTOS. If you go to the bank, people don't see how pretty are you or how tall are you or how beautiful are you. They look at your CTOS report. That represent you. Okay. So this one, I did some search on the real estate firm in Malaysia in November 2020. Alright. So these are the company, yeah, yang saya jumpa dekat website LPPH. So the number of agency. So if you look at the number of agency, you know there is a potential in the future if you want to set up your own practice. Alright. Then currently we are still stuck with the COVID-19 and there are so many impacts due to COVID-19 and many business sectors are suffering after COVID-19 and we see that the total job loss is about more than 2 million around the world. And there are sectors that contribute to economic growth has, you know, tear down. For example, like transportation, in aviation industry, you know, it's a loss in revenue about in USD 3.32 billion loss. Same goes to the hotel industry, about 21.5 billion loss revenue. Amusement park, retailing and clothing. And kalau you tengok banyak kedai retailing tutup, banyak sangat kedai tutup. Even club yang besar tu pun tutup. Saya pergi dekat Masalam hari tu, saya tengok banyak kedai retailing tutup. Alright. The same goes to the film industry, about 475 million revenue loss due to COVID. And you are graduating, okay? So you have to think out of the box. Yeah. So these are the top scale of 2025, okay, which are essential for you that you need to know what are the skill required. One of the skill required is problem solving skill, self-management skill, working with people, technology use and development. How many of you attended the PowerPoint class that I have advised to you? So these are the important skills where problem solving skill, self-management, working with people, you should be able to gain all these skills when you were a student. You solve the problem on how you want to do your assignment. How do you solve your problem? Is it you really solve the problem or you just copy and paste? If you really solve the problem, you gain that skill. Okay, skill ni maksudnya, you buat satu benda tu dengan sepenuh jiwa you. Barulah skill tu datang kepada you. There are so many ways of problem solving. You solve problem, you meniru, solve problem. You solve problem, dengan you buat sepenuh jiwa you dapat skill. Of course it is difficult. I never say, oh, it's not difficult. So when you want to gain experience or skill, of course, that moment is a difficult moment. But you learn something from that experience that is more meaningful. All right? Or else you're just wasting your time for this period of 3 years. And working with people, you are working with your team, you are working with your members from different states. And you learn about their character, you learn about their behavior, and you learn to respect each other. It's not you fight to each other, so you learn to respect each other. You try to work together in order for you to achieve your objective. And whether you neglect this opportunity or you really take that opportunity. Because these are the top 10 skill of 2025, which is a complex problem solving. Can you solve problem? Active learning and learning strategies. Are you a person who have the ability to deep listening? Are you really listen to my lecture? Are you really understand my point? Or you just have to listen because you have to listen because you have to feel the attendance? Is that so? You need to have a critical, analytical thinking and innovation, innovative in solving your problem. You don't read my assignment. Yeah, you ask me questions, silly question, where all the instruction is already given in the assignment. How you are going to develop your analytical thinking if the instruction is there but you don't want to read? You just sign whatever you are required to sign. You don't use your mind to think. How many of you take an opportunity to become a class rep or assistant class rep to organize, your class or to organize your friend into, all those student activity? You have that leadership skill or not? Because, for example, if you work, you may need to manage your team. That's why it's very important to have that kind of experience. All right? You should be able to influence people. The way you talk, you attract people. All right? How many of you are good in technology use? It's not that the technology you use for social media to update yourself. How many of you are good in preparing a good PowerPoint slide? You can design, right? Do some programming. Tu sebab saya cakap tadi kan, dalam hidup kita ni kena ada consciousness, ya, ataupun awareness untuk kita jadi berjaya. Untuk berjaya tadi saya cakap apa? It's not just your intellectual. You belajar dapat A dalam result. No, it's not like that. It's only part of it. Ya, kalau 1/8, you cuma kalau intellectual you bagus, you dapat 1/8. Okay? You need to have emotion. Consciousness. Maksudnya emotion you stable. Yeah. Spiritual you, yeah, physical, financial, so it should be planned together, the balance. Because bila you masuk dekat alam pekerjaan, you need to be, you need to sustain with the environment. Alright? You need to feel grateful for what you have at the moment. Ni tak, dia masuk-masuk kerja, dia complain pasal gaji. If you complain about gaji, you no need to work. You just stay at home. If your mind you put into the salary, then you will get stressed out. But if let's say you get that salary, you say, oh, because of this salary, I gain experience. So from that experience, you will shift into next level. How many of you think that way? So some of the students, they think unnecessarily. They get stressed for unnecessary things. Again, I would like to repeat again to you that you want to be successful, you want to be happy in life, you have to be balanced in using your body. You don't just come to class, listen to my lecture, you are using your intellectual. It needs to be balanced with other consciousness, for example, your physical. Yeah? You should have a good physical appearance, Even at the age of, at my age now, I'm 40 plus, right? I try my best. I tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so this is the body that you give to me. I appreciate it very much. I try my best to take care of it by taking a good food. Yeah? Don't damage your body, alright? It's your physical appearance we show up. How many of you are grateful with yourself? Yeah? Kita bersyukur tak dengan diri kita, kita nampak kulit kita. Tapi saya selalu dengar pelajar kan, dia tak suka kulit dia sebab dia kata kulit dia hitam. You are not grateful. You tak bersyukur. Jadi macam mana Allah nak tambah rezeki kalau you tak bersyukur? Kalau dah kulit you hitam, dah memang keturunan you hitam, syukur pada Allah. Dengan bersyukur tu, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. The matter is you as a person. Alright? You kata, oh, I malu sebab I gemuk. It's your problem. Your attitude. You dah tahu you gemuk, you should go exercise. Read book. Take care of your food. Oh, I malu, I tak pandai cakap. If you know that is your weakness, you don't report to people. You improve yourself. Your action matters. Right? So you see, that is also, if you can control your stress, you have a emotion, consciousness, all right, emotion balance. It's also a skill, in the future. All right, you are reasoning, you pandai, you can give a reasoning, you can solve problem. So these are the skill, which is very important. All right, and this is not me who's saying this. All right, this is from the World Economic Forum. All right. So you need to think out of the box. All right. Many business sectors are suffering since COVID-19. Right. Many jobless. Few are hiring. So what must you do? So you have to be flexible and resilient. Meaning that you have to be able to change and adapt to a new norm and changes. All right. You cannot rigid yourself. Oh, I'm a real estate. I have to be into this sector. It won't work that way, unfortunately. And in somehow in life we have to make adjustment to ourselves. All right, like myself also. Even you said, oh, Dr. Mona bolehlah cakap, Dr. Mona dah ada kerja. Yeah, even though I'm working, I have to fulfill with KPI every year. It's not that you see a person has a job, they are not, struggling. They are struggling as well. They are facing different challenge. All right. Every level they have different challenge. So we cannot keep on like comparing, you know, when we see people, oh dia boleh lah macam itu, oh dia tu memang macam itu, oh dia macam itu. So if you think that way, then it's not an healthy thinking, alright? So you need to take care of your, you know, your thinking, alright? So you need to transform yourself. The way you think is very important, alright? Macam saya contoh lah kan, you nampak orang gaji 3,000 dengan gaji 20,000. So you kata, oh boleh lah dia gaji 20,000, dia tu ada kabel for example lah ni selalu kita dengar We shouldn't think that way because that is all mind and thought that already goes into your body. It become you. You have to change that. You have to change your mind. Sepatutnya you fikirlah macam mana kita nak transform jadi orang macam itu. What makes they different? And you muhasabah diri you. You muhasabah diri you. Apa yang membuatkan mereka berbeza? Apa yang membuatkan mereka berbeza? So contoh tadi saya cakap kan gaji 3,000 dengan gaji 10,000. You pun cakap lah, oh dia ada kabel dan sebagainya. You cannot say that. Sepatutnya bila you tengok macam gitu, perbezaan gaji tu 3,000 ke 20,000. So perbezaan itulah is the space that you need to learn. What makes it different? What is the different power gap yang perlu dimuhasabahkan? So adakah perbezaan dari segi intellectual dia? Adakah dari segi physical appearance dia? Adakah dari segi emotional dia? Because kita semua ni, we are super intellectual. Alright? Physically, mentally, semua sama. Saya dengan awak semua ni sama. Kita perlu observe. Kita perlu improve ourselves. Get the best version of ourselves. Alright? If they can do it, of course we can do it as well. Okay? So think out of the box, you know. To be successful, maybe you want to become an entrepreneur. Okay, contoh you ada family, you ada tanah dekat kampung. You develop the land, generate income through the land from the knowledge that you have now. I'm just giving you example. Okay? And perseverance, is a key success to hardship, and always look out for opportunity, macam saya pun, walaupun saya dah kerja, tetapi saya tetap ambil kelas-kelas untuk improvekan diri. Saya nak tanya, sepanjang you 3 tahun dekat UiTM, you ambil kursus hartanah, ada tak you enroll mana-mana kursus lain untuk perbaiki diri? Because you must always remember, the best investment is when you invest to your personal development. Jangan you invest dekat telefon ataupun benda-benda gadget, baju dan sebagainya, because that is all temporary. The best investment, I repeat again, is your is your personal development. To improve yourself. That is the best investment. Itu sebab saya tak kisah, bila saya ada anak saya dah mula sekolah, saya pakai handbag yang murah-murah, orang tegur saya, bag colour Reno je, macam ini je. I couldn't care less because that is not important to me. What is important is that I give the best education to my kids. So you need to know what is your priority in life. Okay? I'm just telling you and also telling myself. Okay, whatever I tell you at the same time, saya pun muhasabah diri, untuk memberitahu diri saya sendiri supaya kita sama-sama perbaiki diri saya, dan perbaiki diri anda. Bila saya cakap ni sebenarnya saya reflect to myself as well. Jangan bila saya cakap, oh muhasabah diri, oh doktor ni suruh muhasabah, dia tak tahu ke kita ni macam ni. So lagi satu, jangan negative self-talk. Because when you started to negative self-talk, it will record into your memory. This is very dangerous. So let's say I'm telling you this, you kata, oh you start to resist tau. You resistant. Bolehlah dia macam itu. That is actually negative self-talk. Don't do that. Alright, you have to be open, yeah. Don't resistant and accept everything at the moment, alright, and be at the present moment. Then you are not stressed up. Okay, accept everything. Kalau tak dapat kerja, ya Allah ya Tuanku, I accept. This is what you give it to me, but it doesn't mean you stay still. You need to usaha lagi dan berusaha, insyaAllah. Saya doakan. Okay, ni ada sedikit lagi yang saya nak sambung, which is on the what Act say, tolong baca dengan akta on this part, on the registration, value surprises, on the registration. I believe that this one you already covered in semester 5, alright? And this is on registration of the firm, registration of the firm, the client account. Kita pun dah sentuh tadi, sedikit. Scale of fee kita akan sentuh kemudian, code of conduct of REA, and this one for RV and appraisers. Okay, please read the act and rules. Saya tandakan merah ni dengan part-part yang saya nyatakan di sini. Tolong baca. Okay, so these are some of the insight on the SME, the backbone of the economy. About 98.5% business established in Malaysia are SME, cut across all sizes and sectors. You can see that 20.6% SME are women-owned, alright, and 89.2% SME by sectors are into the services sector. So kita termasuk dalam services sector, then followed by other sectors as well. Okay, so this is the GDP. So I just want to highlight on the business opportunity. So this is the success rate in business. Okay, you nampak, nak sustain in the business is not easy. If you can sustain more than 15 years, then you are considered success. Alright, so this is the real estate companies registered with the board. I took it from the board website in 2019. So kalau you tengok sini, Kuala Lumpur paling saturated, about 505 companies. Kalau you tengok dekat negeri yang paling kurang, Perlis ada 5. Patutlah sebab Perlis tu kecil kan. Alright, Perak 54, Pulau Pinang quite high because dia bandar raya besar. So dia 152, followed by Johor 177, Terengganu besar tapi masih kecil sebab dia banyak bandar dia tak semaju seperti Kuala Lumpur dan juga Penang. Kelantan ada 20. So you from which state you can have a dream to have your company somewhere there. Alright, so this is on the population report. So the distribution between male and female in 2018. So you see that penduduk Malaysia, lelaki, perempuan consists of 32.6 million. So maknanya besar, besar. Maknanya opportunity untuk berniaga tu ada. So kelahiran 127,400 in 2018. And death about 41,400. Even dalam real estate, number of death also is the business opportunity. Sebab dia berkait dengan real estate on the property owned by si mati. Okay, so this is the Malaysian population in 2018. This is my statistic that I obtained in 2018. Saya dah terangkan tadi. So these are the financial assistance yang you boleh dapat di Malaysia sekiranya you ada syarikat. Okay, banyak macam you can go to Amanah, Majlis Amanah Rakyat, Credit Guarantee Corporation, Perbadanan Usahawan Nasional Berhad, Perbadanan Nasional Berhad, Malaysia Debt Venture Berhad, Malaysian External Trade Development Corporation, Matrade, Malaysian Biotechnology Corporation, dan macam-macam lagi lah. Okay. So this is on the business setting up yang mana you akan buat secara lebih detail dalam your assignment. You ada step 1, you register with your SSM, then you need to follow the board requirement which is on the proper office, and you need to obtain license from the local authority when you want to set up a business. Alright, you need also to open your bank account, you need to buy your insurance, indemnity insurance, you need to plan your staffing and administration, your accounting system, and what are the yearly requirements. Okay, so you need to explain this process in detail in your assignment. And I think that most of you by now you have understand clearly on the SSM registration, and it's already explained by group 1, 2 and 3. Group 1 for group A, C and F. Okay. And these are the 3 types of business registration. Also, I did explain in my lecture, and you can also look at the website for the detailed explanation. So, ni adalah the differences between 3 business entity. For the sole proprietor, what is more important is you have to have account clerk and accountant. Yeah, the same with partnership. You no need to have auditor, company secretary. Ni semua tak ada. Sebab ada pelajar yang tanya kan, untuk sole proprietor perlu tak lantik company secretary? Yang nampak dia tak dengar lecture saya. Yeah? Bila dia tanya soalan macam itu. So, kalau company secretary tu hanyalah untuk syarikat sendirian Berhad. Okay? So, ini adalah for your self-reading. Yeah? What is the memorandum of article and article of association? Yeah? This is the requirement for company secretary. Please do your reading to understand more about the requirement of company secretary for Sdn Berhad. And this one is already being explained in presentation last week. Yeah, last week kita dah discuss benda ni. Sama juga dengan accountant and auditor, kita telah bincangkan pada minggu lepas dalam presentation 1. Alright, so this is on the business registration, yang mana this is your assignment yang you kena buat. So kalau tengok dekat sini, ini adalah yang secara ringkasnya. Saya perlukan you punya explanation board registration ni mengikut section berapa. So bermula daripada application for registration, you get the authority to practice, name approval, and you practice as a firm, and what are the requirement after you practice as a firm. Okay, tolong semak yang tu. So this is I just show you the step, I took it from one of the student assignment. You don't need to follow like this. You can come up with your own diagram. Okay, how you want to explain to the requirement. Cuma kalau you tengok dekat dalam diagram ni, dia tak masukkan section berapa. Dia mesti ada keperluan section berapa. So you need to explain in detail on this. So this is the requirement for the proper office. What is the definition of proper office? Kalau you tengok dekat dalam buku standard, the proper office is the location area that want to be as a firm must be appropriate as the office was permitted by local government law and any related regulation or guideline by local authority. And your company also need to have signage, which inclusive your name and registration number of the firm. Okay. And then day-to-day operation and other requirements. So all this you need to explain. I leave it to you for you to explain in your assignment. Yeah. So this is on the 7th schedules. Okay, on the professional fees. Yang ni juga kita akan bincangkan kemudian. Okay, these are some of the code of conduct and ethic for registered valuer. So yang ni juga kita akan bincangkan dalam kelas yang seterusnya. Ini kita akan masuk selepas raya nantilah insyaAllah. Dan kini kita akan bincangkan code of conduct and ethic for the valuers. For time being, please read on the part IX on all this code of conduct and ethic for registered valuer. Okay, if you have any question, you can leave on the comment at the video. So then I will try to respond to your question. Thank you very much for listening to my lecture. And I hope if you have any question or whatever, you can put into the comment. With that, thank you very much and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.